Q&A session. So for those who are new to me and One Blueprint, my name is Lynn, and I'm from One Blueprint. So a brief introductions of what we do, or what does One Blueprint do basically. So actually, One Blueprint, our mission is to promote the Asian arts of modern context. Area like area like okay, like this. These are the services that we provide basically. So number one, like we do help our friend to design your destiny with 紫微斗数. And number two, Feng Shui house audit. And number three, an auspicious date selections. So basically what we do is we use this to design your destiny, but mainly in the modern context. Yeah, so for those who are new to us, what we do is we promote the Asian arts and in really in the modern context. Lah. So, okay, I see a lot of familiar names. Okay, people like Anthony. Okay, hi Anthony. Okay, I see Anthony. Hello, Anthony. Yeah, feel free to post your comment. So if you have any question along the way, please do post your question over here as well. And also Linda, my dear cousin, thank you very much for joining me today. And also I see Cynthia. Hello, Cynthia. Thank you for joining me today as well. So as what you all know that today's topic is work from home, Feng Shui tips. So as we know, it's been a year since our last pandemic, and I strongly believe that this will be the new norm going ahead. I was thinking probably this is a good topic to start with, since this is my first Facebook Live, so that to share with you what are the work from home Feng Shui tips that we can go into to share with y'all. But before I go into this topic, maybe I have some question that I would like to throw to the floor, that maybe you can have some participation. Question like, okay, maybe we can have a question like this. Okay, so maybe you all can share with us like, hey, actually, what does Feng Shui means to you? Because during my session, I've asked a lot of my friends like, hey, actually, what does Feng Shui means to them? So these are a very common one, like A, people will say, oh, 摆东西咯, in English, I mean in Chinese they say, oh, 摆东西咯, 风水就是摆东西咯, 对不对? It's just placing of items. There's no right or wrong. So this is some of the answer that I receive from people. Oh, hi, my aunt. Hello, Akim. Hello. Thank you for joining me also. Okay. Right. So sorry, back to the topic again. So what does Feng Shui means to you? So A, placing an item, as I mentioned, is it really Feng Shui just meaning of placing items in your house? Or B, some of people say that is more of a psychological effect. Or C is the environmental energy that some people believe it is. Feng Shui is all about energy. So please feel free to share your comment. Feel free to share your comment. Hi, Alexis. Okay. Okay, so whether you can hear me loud and clear. If not, maybe I can turn up the volume. Oh, I think the volume is a bit low, huh? Okay, let me turn up the volume. Oh, yeah, it's a bit low. How about now? Is it better? Oh, yeah, just now I turned up. Okay, I think the volume now sounds much better. Okay, is the volume better now? You all can hear me much better, right? Okay, you all can hear me much better now. All right, so as I mentioned, feel free to share with me your topic. What you think that this is the question? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. Vivian. Hello, nice to see you here also. Better volume. Okay, good. Thank you for your feedback. Yeah, I think I just upped the volume. So It's my new mic. I'm testing the new mic. Okay, so coming back again. Coming back to the question again. So feel free to share with me. So what you all think? What does feng shui means to you? Is it A? Placing of item. As I mentioned, there's no right or wrong. Just now, sorry, if you all cannot hear me earlier, just now I was sharing that I may want to pose a general question to all of you to have some participation first. Okay, so you all can share your thoughts. What you all think that feng shui means to you? Is it A, placing of item? Because some of my friends say that in Chinese they say, oh, feng shui 就是摆东西 that kind of thing, just placing of items. Or B is more of a psychological effect. Or C, some believe that it's more like an environmental energy. It's more like an environmental energy, meaning that they feel that feng shui is all about the qi chang, the chi chang, all this kind of a thing. So feel free to share with me. All right, okay, I see some answer. Alice say C, okay. Linda also say is C. Oh, Karen say is B, psychological effect. Hello, Karen. I just see you during our dinner just now, okay? Karen, my sister. Okay, Celine. Hi, Celine. Nice to see you also. Okay, C is more of an environmental, C is also environmental energy. Okay, all right. Okay, I see. Oh, Irene. B and C. Irene. Hi, Irene. So I see some of my friends, my client. Okay, nice to see y'all. Okay, and AB, hi, nice to see you. Okay, welcome. And you are saying C as well. So I can see that a lot of you are thinking that feng shui is more like environmental energy. Okay, Cynthia as well saying that is C. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, on my light, my power. Okay, it's C. It's more of C, environmental energy. Oh, Irene. Hi, Irene. Hi, Irene. Nice to see you also. Okay. So I see a lot of people are putting C, environmental energy. In fact, maybe I give a few more minutes, then I'll share with you all what do I think about what is feng shui actually. Yeah, so what is feng shui? So feng shui, some people think that feng shui 就是摆东西, placing items, that's all. So I think some of you had heard me sharing before that if feng shui is only just a placement for item, like say for example, oh, that's my 财位, that's my wealth corner, then I just put my my wealth bowl, my 聚宝盆 over there. Yeah, so 只要你把你的聚宝盆放在你的财位, they say, oh, okay, 你的财位要放聚宝盆，这样就会有钱进来，就会发财。Then you get a lot of wealth. So is it really true? Is it really true? So if I say that if it's really true, then 世界上就没有穷人了。In a way, there will be no poor people in this earth if I really want to just put a wealth bowl in my wealth corner, right? So placement of item, I don't think. I mean, I won't say it's a strict no. It's not true. But I will say placing of item is meaning is a bit of a psychological effect as well. 它是一个心理的作用。为什么呢？ So I think some of you answer B and C. Yeah, why is it so? Because feng shui also have a little bit of psychological effect. Why is it so? Because when I place my wealth bowl, for example, at my wealth corner, actually is to remind us psychologically when I see that, actually my wealth bowl is at the front of me when I'm back home. Then I remind myself that, okay, I need to save. I need to manage my finance. 你不理财，财不理你，对不对？ Yeah, so in a way that is to remind you that you need to manage your wealth. So it's also have a bit of psychological effect. Another thing is about, let's say for example, because today's topic is work from home feng shui, right? Why do we need to place my desk in a certain way? It's also have a bit of psychological effect. That same goes for our bedroom lah, huh? So I'll share a bit more later. So I will say, yeah, feng shui to me, mainly I will say ABC 都有。To me, I will say it's A, B, C, placement of item, but it really depends on individual preference. But I'll say it's more for B and C lah. But some of y'all is like if you place something nice there for you to see, 哇，美美的东西，你看得很开心, you feel happy about it. Actually is giving you the feel good effect as well lah, huh? Okay, so I think that should be all. I'll stop this general topic to start with. Let me stop this. Okay. So feel good to see a lot of you here. So feel free to ask questions along the way when I share the tips lah, huh? So I will start with my work from home feng shui tips today. Okay. So my first one, my work from home feng shui tips. Okay. Tip number one. Okay. The tips number one is to place your work desk at positive energy sector. I repeat, tip number one is to place your work desk at positive energy sector. So what does it mean? Okay, so what do I mean by positive energy sector? Okay, so okay, this graph look a bit a lot of graphics on this, right? But in a way, y'all can I can share with you what do I mean by positive energy sector. Okay, first of all, you have to determine your home direction. Okay, so how to determine your home direction? Okay, first of all, prepare your house floor plan. You know, as what you can see from this, picture here. You see, this is an example of a house floor plan. After that, you find the center of the floor plan. Find the center of the floor plan. Okay, just draw a cross. You see, just draw a cross. The center of a floor plan. After that, take the house direction. So what do I mean by take the house direction? You see, there's this compass here. So you can either face your door, your main door, or you can face your window. Okay, so after that, you plot the direction. So this is the final direction. In fact, it's not only north, south, east, west, 4 direction only. There are 8 direction. But basically, if you really go into into the right direction, I would say it's about 24 directions. In Feng Shui terms, we call it 24 mountain sectors lah, 24 山. That would be the most exact one. So this is what I usually do when I go to the Feng Shui house audit. I think I see some familiar names there lah. So 有些是我的 some is my my house Feng Shui audit friends clients lah. So they all know that how I do also. So I go to your house, I do the center, then I plot the direction. Okay. So after you do that, what's next, right? Okay, so based on the annual flying star 2021, 2021年 flying star. Okay, so this is the chart for flying star. So basically, the academy and the success sector is at the east sector this year. So you see, this is the east sector, right? So this is the east sector, right? So after you find your house east sector, okay, locate your east sector first of all, right? But the thing is, this year there's a tree killing energy at this east sector this year. So instead of sitting right at your east direction, this year I will recommend that what you can do, right, is to sit at the west sector, because west sector is our prosperity sector this year, the prosperity star. Okay, say for example, now I'm sitting now. Okay, so actually, example, okay, now if this is where am I sitting, right, is the west sector of my house. Then now, oh, okay, that direction, right, is my west side. Then I face this way. So I sit at my west, then I face at my east side. So in a way to get the positive energy. So this is tip number one, is to get the positive energy by sitting at the success sector and facing at the academy sector in 2021. Okay, so before I proceed to the next tips, feel free to ask any question. Feel free to post your question if you want to have any question that you would like to ask, like how to plot my chart, all this thing. I have my floor plan, but I don't know how to plot. Something like that. Feel free. If you all ask question, then I can give you all more solution or whatsoever lah. Feel free to ask. I'll wait for a while. If not, then I'll proceed tips number 2. Do let me know whether you all want to proceed to tips number 2 or you all have any question. Or okay, right? So okay, let me see some of the comment here. I see a lot of familiar names there. Okay, thank you very much for joining me again today. So for those who don't know me, my name is Lynn. I'm from One Blueprint. Yeah. Okay, if not, then I think I proceed to the tips number 2 lah. Maybe this y'all can see in this. Think about this tips number 1 first. Okay, tip number 2 will be slightly more straightforward. Okay, tips number 2. Okay, tips number 2. This number 2 is to place your work desk in command position. Okay. I saw someone. Hi, Abby. Okay, so Abby got this question. She said that the west center is our home, is the kitchen. Definitely. So where setter doesn't really means is the position that we can place our work desk, right? So what if your waist setter actually is where your bathroom is? Are you going to sit there and to do your work? No, right? Okay. So as I mentioned, that's just a rough guide. So of course you cannot sit in your kitchen to do your work lah. Of course that first of all, right? Just now as I mentioned, feng shui is about environmental energy and also the psychological effect. So first of all, you must feel comfortable at this area first. So if your west sector is your kitchen, I believe that you may not feel so comfortable sitting in your kitchen to do your work. So in a way, that is not a good choice for you really. So instead, you can find other sector like what? Okay, since AB had this question, so other sector like what? AC probably you can look at the sector number here. This is 9. So this is a future prosperity site. Actually, this is our northeast sector. Northeast sector of the house. So if it's either I would say the positive sector this year for our house is the future prosperity star number 9, number 8, and 6 and 4. So I repeat again, 4, 6, 8, 9 are the positive star in 2021. In fact, it's the positive star. Okay, I would say the positive star in 2021. So 4, 6, 8, 9. So AB, sorry, if it happened that the west side is the kitchen, then you can look for other place, like say probably your northeast side, like the 9 or 8 or even like 6. In fact, my study room is in the center of my house. Yeah, so this is where I'm sitting now. I'm sitting at my house, the Heavenly Star. Yeah, so I'm sitting in the Heavenly Star, and what I can do sometimes I'll just face my east side, as I mentioned. Sometimes when I was thinking I cannot think something, then I just turn over there. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, star one also. Thank you very much. Someone share. Yes, you're right also. Thank you. HS Yo. Yeah, star one as well. You're right. Sorry, I missed out one. So 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. So these are all the positive star lah. So as I mentioned, if really you cannot sit at 8, you can sit at 1, 4, 6, 8, or 9. Oh, just now sorry, I mentioned try not to sit at number 4 this year. Okay, try not to lah, huh? Okay, then y'all can just sit over there to then if possible face at the east side. Okay, so this is answer EB question. I hope I answer your question. Okay. You forget your floor plan. Okay. Linda says she forget her floor plan because I did her house audit previously lah. So she said she forget her floor plan. Nobody, I get back to you again. I'll let you know where to sit. Okay, so Linda, I will remember your request. Don't worry, I'll get back to you. Okay, so Alice, she has a question. So we face the main door when plot or stand from outside the house. Okay, this is a very good question. So this is a very good question. A lot of people were asking whether when they plot. Okay, let me go back to this again. This one. When we plot our house direction, whether we should stand inside the house facing out the door, or should I stand out the house and face inside? That means stand out of the house and face inside the house. That means stand from outside the house lah. Okay. Okay. My answer is the correct way is to stand inside the house and face out of the main door. Stand inside the house, face out of the main door. That should be the way of plotting the direction. Okay, I hope I answer your question. Okay, I think HS Yo has a question. Can I sleep at star 4 East sector? Okay, so this is also a very good question. So let's say you see, just now as I mentioned, star 4, okay, star 4, there's a tree killing energy this year at star 4, which is at the east sector. Of course, if you have the choice not to sleep over there, jolly well, I will encourage not to. But in Singapore, or some of us, due to space constraint, we cannot possibly choose where we want to sleep at all the time, right? So what can we do? So probably I can have another session to share more about flying stars lah. Then that's where I can share about what if this year, if happen that your star fall is your bedroom, what are the things that what you can do? Or what if the misfortune star is number 5 and that's where I'm sleeping, what can I do? I think I did give out the ebook. I did give out free ebook, Flying Star 2021, to all my member who joined my Facebook group. So for those who are interested, do let me know. If you all want, you can let me know, share your comment, then I can post the link there. Then you can join my group. Then at the same time, you can get a free ebook from there. So from that, I have in the ebook I wrote about actually what are the different flying star arts and what are the remedy. So if a lot of you would like to maybe have something like this live session to know more about flying star, can let me know. Then maybe I can have a session like that. So it really depends on what does majority would like to know lah, huh? So HSEO, so as I mentioned, if can, we will try not to sleep. But if not, right, there are some kind of remedy that we can or to take. So other word, if really no choice, you have to sleep at the east sector of the house. So if you can change your direction, don't face the. If happen that you sleep in the east sector, but you face the misfortune star direction, which is what is this? Southeast direction. Then that is not the good direction to face lah. But bo pian really have to, right? Then what can we do? Because first of all, just now as I mentioned, okay, you have to remember this, as this is very important. I have to repeat again. As this is very important, I have to repeat again. So as we know, Feng Shui is all about what? The people that stay in the house have to feel comfortable first. You must feel comfortable first. Don't say that, okay, this is the positive energy, then I sleep like that. But actually, you are sleeping diagonally in the bedroom. Please don't, okay? Please don't. Feng Shui is not about tapping on the positive energy only. You know why? Because if you don't sleep well, tapping on the good energy, right? Because your bed is not facing a solid wall, then what's the point of tapping on a positive energy when you cannot sleep well? So this is what I always strongly believe in. Get comfortable first. Okay, all right. So HSU, I hope I reply to your question. So okay, I think that's about all for the first one. How about I go to the next one? Tips number 2. Okay, tips number 2. Place your work desk in command position. Okay, place your work desk in command position. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so you all see this picture over here. So do remember when you place your work desk, right? Avoid your back facing the room door. Okay, because this will make you feel very uncomfortable. Why? Having your back like being supervised, right? Like someone's looking at you. So in a way, you lose the security and the confidence in yourself lah. So I will strongly encourage you all don't have your back facing the door. So some of you will ask, this is how I sit when I'm in office. No choice, right? When you're in office, right, there's nothing you can do when you're having your back facing the door. But the good thing is, this is your house, right? So this is what I mean by since this is your house, right, work from home. So you have the choice that you can make. So I will encourage you all, try not to, if can, place your desk not to back face the door. So what is the right way of placing? So what is the right way of placing? Okay, so this is the right way of placing. To place your desk in a command position. Okay, so shift the desk facing the door, like what you can see in the picture here. So in a way, you have a wall behind you, so that you feel that you are in a commanding position. Okay, So what if really you can't shift the desk due to the space constraint? Then probably you can consider to place a divider between the door and the desk lah. So, or at least what you can do is to have a higher back support armchair. Yeah, so this is what I will recommend. Okay, so Linda has a question. Say she's asking, what if my door is behind my sofa? Does it count? Okay, her question is, my door is behind my sofa. Does it count? Uh, so my question back to you will be, do you do your work on your sofa normally? So if you do your work, your office work behind your sofa, yes, it does count. Why is it so? So imagine that you are doing your work in your sofa, right? You're doing you're immersed in your work. Okay, then suddenly your mom or anyone who called from you, or who walk silently behind your back, then suddenly call out to you, Linda, how do you feel? You会 chua you, right? You're scared, right? So this is what I mean by it does has the same effect as well. It does count lah, because in a way you're not in a commanding position. Yeah. So currently my housework desk, I think some of you have seen my housework desk. I have a wall backing at my back. You all can't see because this is a green screen. Okay, so actually behind is my solid wall. So whenever I sit down on my desk and do my work, right, I think my husband will know that, I can just spend hours and hours and hours and concentrating doing my work. Why is it so? Because I feel so comfortable, and I have my view all over me. Whether is it raining, is it someone coming, who is at the door? Yeah, so I feel at east. So this is my commanding position. Okay. So I hope I answer your question, Linda. Okay. So this is my tips number one. Feel free to ask any question that you have regarding to my tips number one. So if not, then I will jump to tips number two. So I'll jump to my next tips again. Okay. All right. So if not, then I'll go to my next tips. So okay, before I go to my next tips, maybe I'll share a bit, like, what if this is the position that I have in office? What can I do? Because office is office, right? I cannot do anything. It's my it's not my own house. What can I do? So you have a bit of a disadvantage lah, definitely. So that's why you see when you go to your boss room, they have the wall, they have their room, they can decorate whatsoever. But what if you don't have a room at own in office? I will say, if possible, if there's sometimes when I go to office to do the audit for them, I realize that sometimes some situation, what you can do, right, is you can tilt yourself to a certain position that your back has some backing. So this is what you can do if that is what really happened in office. If not, then how? You know, if not, right, try to get a office chair that have a strong, that means have a higher back support, if possible, in the office, or your office, they do allow you to have a higher back support armchair. Then you're very lucky if they really provide you such a higher armchair. That's another one. If not, how? How? Request to change the petition. If possible, try to ask to change the petition. Okay, so this is what I have to. Okay, so what we can see here. Okay, let's go for another tips already. Okay, Linda, thank you. Thank you for asking the question as well. Okay, tips number three, look out for poison arrows. Okay, tips number three, look out for poison arrows. So, what do I mean by poison arrow? In Chinese 我们叫杀气，我们叫杀气。Okay, look out for poison arrow. Okay. Oh, okay, Suzhen. Hi, Suzhen. Oh, okay, she's asking about the emperor coin. Hi, Suzhen. Yes. Emperor coin. Yes, she was asking how about emperor coin. So in a way to put the emperor coin at the back of the chair, right? Yes, that's the remedy that I share with to some of y'all. In fact, it does help. In a way, what does this emperor coins mean? I'm not sure whether you all know about the emperor coin. The Chinese emperor coin is where 我们 in Chinese 我们叫五帝钱 so it's something that's round and there's a square in between. It's round and there's a square. And in the coin, right, there's this 五个皇帝, the emperor names that's printed in. So in a way, why is it good for feng shui? Because it's in a way 是天人地，天是圆，the square is 那个地， and the name is actually the 人天人地. So in feng shui, right, why a lot of people are using this emperor coin? Because in a way, in feng shui we also call it the trinity lah, the trinity energy. So when we place the emperor coin behind our chair, right, somehow it helps us to have some backing as a invisible wall. I call it an invisible wall behind our chair. So in a way, you also can, because in office you all know that there's no choice that you can. I mean, there's no other choice really, right? So when you play something, you also let you to have a bit of a psychological effect that oh, I'm protected. in that sense lah, right? Feng Shui is also a bit of psychology effect. But why I use the 五帝钱 just now, as I mentioned, it's about the Trinity energy that can help you, to keep you saved from any arrow coming from the back. When you're in office, you all know what I mean, okay? Okay, let's go to the next tips. The next tips is look out for poison arrow. So just now, as I mentioned, the poison arrow. The poison arrow actually is what in Chinese I call 杀气. 杀气 means what? The negative energy that's coming in, right? 杀气. Okay, so one of the things that we need to be look out for. So in feng shui, right, beam and pillar is what we don't normally like. Why is it so? Because actually it's scientific. Yeah, 梁跟柱所以 this is beam. Beam is called 梁, right? It's called 梁 in Chinese. In English we call it beam. So why we don't like this? And why do I mention it's scientific? Because you see, this is the I would say it's like something that I mean out from the wall, right? So imagine you see if the energy just come from here and hit on the beam, and where it goes, there's nowhere it can go already. Right? Then where it goes, it will go downwards. So when the air is going this way and there's nowhere to go, you go downwards. So this is where we will get the suppressing energy. What we call 那个压迫感. The suppressing energy from the beam will cause destructive energy to you when you're walking under the beam. So this is what I mean by avoid placing your desk under the ceiling beam. So this is another tips. Avoid to place your working desk under the beam. So now what you can do, go to your bedroom or your study room and look up from the ceiling and see whether is there any beam that's above you. Okay, all right. So 这个我们叫做压迫感 in Chinese, suppressing energy will make you work less effectively. Also, you feel hard to achieve. So imagine you also, the worst still is you are sitting directly under the beam. Then 你就会觉得很 pressured. You feel very pressured and distressed. Something like that. And sometimes we may lead you to make some wrong decision while you're doing your work. So this is what we are trying not to. Okay, all right. Okay, I have a question from Cynthia. Okay, thank you for asking this question. She's asking, false ceiling consider? This is a very good question. Does false ceiling consider as a beam as well? Okay, so when you go to your house, you look up, wow, no beam. That's good, right? So what happened? Sometimes due to renovation or ID say, oh, because you want to 打灯, has some lighting, feel cozy and all this thing. Then that's where we have the something like cove lighting. I think this they make a false ceiling. Then that's where the lighting that coming down from the ceiling, right? Whether it's called cove lighting or called false ceiling, right? I will say my answer to your question is yes. Yes, it does consider a artificial beam as well. So 还是会有那个压迫感的. So I will encourage try not to create all this false ceiling at your house if can possible not to. So what you can do, because we want to have a lot of lighting, right? Got different lighting, got white light, cozy light, warm light, all this thing at home, right? So what you can do, if can, have the whole ceiling make, that means make the whole false ceiling instead of just like the cove lighting. So like just like the instead of just the cove lighting, make the whole false ceiling light. Why is it so? So that you 感觉上 psychologically you don't feel that actually there's a beam under you. So this is what I mean by from the picture here. Okay, so I hope I answer your question, Cynthia. Okay, so Hui Ying. Hi, Hui Ying. So Hui Ying had this question say, what about inbuilt cupboard above the desk? Okay. So this is also a very good question, especially what children work desk, right? Or okay lah, children or probably adult work desk as well. Uh, I will say if the inbuilt cupboard, right? You have an inbuilt cupboard. I believe that the inbuilt cupboard is for you for storing your books or etc. So for the inbuilt cupboard, if let's say you're working on your desk, then there's an inbuilt cupboard on top. Okay, whether is it very near you, or that means usually there's a cupboard, right? Then you have certain area out there that you can the surface for you to do your writing or this thing. So if it's quite far away, I think it's quite okay. If it's too near when you are writing the cupboard, right? So it may have some suppressing effect as well. So let's say if the inbuilt cupboard, right, also have tartan, have some lighting. So your inbuilt cupboard has some lighting that shine on the work desk. It will lessen the effect. Yeah. So what I can say is possible, right? Has some lighting on the cupboard, the cabinet. Okay. All right. So I hope I answer your question, Hui Ying. Thank you for asking that question. Cynthia, Cynthia said, "Oh, it's okay." Probably your new house. Hopefully, you can do some renovation. But not to worry. I mean, if let's say not to worry. So let's say, if the false ceiling is there, try not to place some important furniture under the false ceiling. Say, for example, your working desk, your sofa, your bed, and etc. So if just a false ceiling, but there's nothing important there, nobody is sitting down there, I think it's quite okay. All right. So I hope I answer your question, Cynthia. Okay, Anthony. Okay, so Anthony, does it mean we don't sit below the beam is okay, as some distant? Okay, so Anthony was asking, does it mean we don't sit below the beam is okay at some distance? Okay, so you see from my picture, right? So over here, you see, my working desk is here. Then I have a beam here. It actually the beam is sitting directly under the working desk, right? It's up, it's sitting on the working desk. You're quite far away. Okay, say for example, you're quite far away. I think this is what you're asking. So you're not sitting directly under the beam. The beam is on your table. Is it all right? I would say the effect is not as much as you were sitting directly under the beam. But somehow when you are sitting on the working desk and there's a beam on your working desk, somehow 视觉上 我们讲的那个感觉上the effect, yeah, you see something that's there. So imagine the beam is like what, like like a hammer. Yeah, it keep hammering downwards. Yeah, even though you're quite far away, or rather unsubconsciously, right, there's the effect is banging on your working desk, 还是会有的. Yeah, so I will encourage, right, if possible, right, try not to place important things, not important things. Let's say, for example, your working desk, your sofa, your bed under the beam. Even though you're far away, try not to lah, huh? Okay, so Anthony was asking again, if no choice, how to cure? Okay, so how to cure? So it really depends on okay, let's say if I'm going back to the working desk lah. Okay, if really go back to the working desk. So this is how our so this is the second one. Okay, actually, how to cure? Okay, okay, sorry. How to cure? Let me go back to this one. So Anthony was asking if No choice how to cure, right? So it really no choice. The first of all, the solution uh, is to move away. Okay, if to move away your work desk. Okay, why do I say so? Say for example, if you know that someone is shooting at you already. Okay, I want to shoot you. I take a gun, I want to shoot you. So do you take something to block me or do you run away? Okay, so the question to you again. So if I want to shoot you, do you want to take something to block me or you want to run away? Okay, so of course the first choice is we run away. So whatever negative energy that comes to us, we try to avoid them first. So we see, you know, beam. Is there any beam there? So if there's beam, we don't place important things there. But like what Anthony said, wow, no choice. But due to space constraint, you know, etc., my desk really have to be there. Or worse, I have already a inbuilt desk under the beam. What can I do? Okay, if really no choice, so if it's the whole beam, right, then you have to work on the whole length of the desk. Then really no choice, right? Then if possible, see whether is there any place that you can work lah. That means move away from the desk. If really no choice, really have to work the desk with the beam. There are some I would say there are some remedy lah. So say for example, just now as I mentioned, Feng Shui is all about energy as well, right? It's about energy. So another word is another way of a cure is you know the pointed crystal. 我们叫水晶柱 in Chinese 啦，我们叫水晶柱. You can place a 水晶柱, the pointed crystal, under the beam. Why is it so? Because just now I mentioned that the negative energy come from here, then go downwards, right? It's hitting on your desk, right? You feel the suppression effect. So what you can do if you have a pointed crystal, you're placing here. So when you place the pointed crystal, the energy are going upwards. So when it go down, actually it help you to neutralize the negative energy at that area. Either you can place a pointed crystal or I would say a real life plant under the area here. Okay, so just now first, I would say really no cure. First of all, best is to move away. Second, place a pointed crystal or a real life plant at the work desk over here. Yeah, then in a way it will cure lah. So I hope I answer your question, to Anthony. Okay. So I see Hui Ying say okay, thank you. Okay, so if there's no question, then I'll go to the next one. My next tips. So just now I mentioned about beam. So same goes for pillar. Yeah, so this is an example of the pillar also. So try not to sit with the pillar, there's a pillar beside it. Because why? It's like a protruding wall. They create a knife like they're cutting into you. 一直在切，一直在切，一直在切，对吧？ like cutting you. So the constant cutting negative energy will have the effect on the desk lah. So will make you hard to concentrate on the work. So maybe will lead also to poor relationship in work. Okay, so I will encourage to move away as well. So if not, you can place a plant here at this area. So same goes in office. So what you can do is your office have very big beam like that. So if it's what you call this, you see this is like a knife cutting in. But what if it's a round one? Round one is still okay. Still not as bad as this. This is like a knife like that. So if it's a round one, still not too bad. But if it's a knife, what you can do is to place a plant. Place a plant here. Again, you can place a plant here. If it's in office, yeah. So if at home, you can place a plant as well. So it really depends on the situation of your study room. So what if the area is not properly, there's no sunlight, then probably you have to keep changing your plant. So this is something that you have to be take note of lah. Okay, it's just to make sure the plant is not die off. Okay, so this is very important. So if no more question, I'll go to the next tips. Tips number 4 already. Okay, go to my tips number 4. So just now I was sharing in the very first place, I was sharing at the beginning that I'll be sharing a total of 5 tips lah. So today now is tips number 4. So look out for the negative energy area. So look out for the negative energy area in your home. Okay, so what do you mean by negative energy area? This is the example of the negative energy area of a home. Say for example, this is your work desk. So what's beside your work desk? Toilet. I saw this okay. I saw quite a lot of house. There's a toilet that facing directly your work desk lah. So commonly known as our bathroom. Yeah. So what does negative energy area means? So these are the what we call the bathroom area. So why bathroom is considered as a negative energy area? Because this is a place where we clean ourselves, we discharge ourselves. So all the negative energy actually are residing in this area, right? So even though you close the door at all times, right? Actually, in fact, the negative energy will be circulating at this area, then will go to you in that sense lah. So try to avoid to place your work desk near this negative energy area. So best is to shift away from the area. Okay, so I believe some of you may ask also, so what if due to space constraint, what can we do? And really there's no place really, this is the only place I can place my work desk. So we know now we're in Singapore. So what can we do? Okay, if really due to space constraint, consider to place a divider between the door and the desk, or a door curtain, or a door curtain that can place, at the door area here. Okay, so to minimize the negative energy. So I think I also share this to some of my friends, that I always mention that there's no 100% good feng shui. Remember this, there's no 100% good feng shui in our house. So feng shui is all about what? Feng shui is actually math. So I always say feng shui is math. What do you mean by math? 加减乘除 is about plus, addition, and subtraction. So say for example, all this negative energy, right? So what we can do is we subtract the negative energy away. Then we add on the positive energy. So just now my tips number 1 is to add on. So we sit on the good positive energy facing the good energy area. Add on, it's a plus. Then what to do with all this negative? We minus off. We subtract them. So this is what I mean by feng shui. It's all about plus and minus. It's all about math. No 100% good feng shui. So it's at the end of the day, how much we have, how much we have, get the points lah. How much we mark ourselves. How much do I get for my feng shui, my house, that kind of thing. So this is what feng shui all about. Okay, so if you have any question, please feel free again to pose your question. Then I can answer based on your question. If not, then I'll go to our last tips already. Okay, maybe I go to my last tips first lah. So if you have, then feel free to ask your question. Okay, so if not, at the end you also can ask any question if you'd like to ask. Okay, so tips number 5. My last tips of the day is glass versus solid wood desk. Glass versus solid wood desk. So what do I mean by that? Okay, I show you this picture over here. Okay, so I used to have a glass work desk before. I feel very uncomfortable working on the glass work desk. Why is it so? So as I mentioned over here, glass desk does not feel solidity and easily cause reflection upon the glass area. Yeah, so in a way you can see through. So when you're writing on the desk or typing on the work desk, right, you feel a bit of insecure. It's due to the material of the desk that you're using. And also the glass material will cause energy to flow away easily. So when you're working, you have a lot of energy. While you're so energetic already, you want to do your work already, then you sit on the desk, it's a glass work desk, and somehow you feel a bit retired, a bit tired after that. Why is it so? Because in a way, your energy it's not concentrate around the area, I would say. Yeah, so a glass work desk also, just as I mentioned, you will see through lah, so you feel distracted all the time and etc. because the desk does not let you have the solidified feeling. Okay, so this is my last tips. So my last tips is solid versus the glass desk. So in the future, if you are shopping your new work desk, I will recommend a wood desk. Try not to get the glass work desk. My work desk I used to have is from the beehive. I'm not sure you know. Yeah, so that work desk, the glass one, I recommend not to take that one. Get a solid wood desk. Okay, so I think most of the office area is having the solid wood desk lah, so still not too bad. Okay, all right, so I'll recommend the solid wood desk. So that is all my tips for today. Work from home. Uh, Today I only prepare 5 tips for work from home. So what do y'all think? Do you think it's not enough, or do y'all think y'all need more tips for work from home? Or is there any area that y'all think that you would like to know more? Say for example, you'd like to know more about home feng shui. Say for example, big room, or anything that you'd like to know more. Actually, in fact, if you are interested, right, I have my private group chat. Sorry, what I mean is my this is my if I'm not sure you all can see from here. This is my Facebook group. This is my Facebook group. This is my Facebook group where I host this Facebook group chat where I'm letting my member to share, to post their question when they have any question that they have regarding about feng shui. And this is what just now I mentioned about the annual flying star that I'm giving out. So anyone who is interested to find out more about the annual flying star 2021, y'all can join this private Facebook group of mine. Then y'all can, to learn more about home feng shui. If not, then probably y'all can probably y'all can let me know what kind of question they'd like to have for my next Facebook Live, so that I can share with y'all more. Oh, okay, I have a question from HSU. So is it true that the higher you stay in an apartment, the more you tend to fantasize? uh Wait, fantasize, is it that the more you tend to fantasize? Sorry, what do you mean by fantasize? The more you fantasize, do you mean is the higher you stay in an apartment, the better it is it? May I clarify your question? Is this what you mean by fantasized? Yeah, so if you mean that, is it the higher you stay in an apartment, the better it is, right? If this is your question, then my answer to your question is a yes. But it depends. Why do I say so? Even though I say the higher you stay is better, but it still depends. What do I mean? Say for example, in a higher department, apartment. Say for example, the HDB is about 15 floor tall. Okay, it's about 15 floor tall, and if I live at the tallest, the highest, the 15th floor, does it mean that I'm having a good feng shui there? It really depends. What do I mean by that? Uh, uh? Sorry, what do you mean by rooted? Okay, maybe I go back to your question again. So you mean that the more, so just now if I would answer your question again, you mean that if you're asking me that the higher you stay, the higher the floor you stay, the better it is. I mean it depends. Why is it so? Because if the higher you stay, uh, whatever the negative energy from the lower floor, say for example the root direction, the the road direction and etc. All this thing, it doesn't affect you when you are staying at the higher floor. But it depends also. What do I mean by that? Is because uh, uh, because even though you are staying at the high floor, but when you're looking out, it depends on what are the environmental factor that has to you. Say for example, if I'm staying at the 15th floor, but I have another HDB floor that is also very high, that possible a pointed corner to my area. So even though I'm staying at very high, but I have a corner floor that point to me, right? So that's also a negative energy. So it depends on, it doesn't mean that the higher I go, the better it is, because why? Just now as I mentioned, so it depends on the 15th floor, what is out from the floor that I have. 就是说我在那边 actually 在外 when you're facing out, what is facing you? That is also very important. Okay. So it doesn't mean that the higher you are, the better it is. So you have to depends on a lot of factors as well. I won't say it just one that fix all. Okay, all right. Okay, I think that's all for today's session. All right, because I share all of my tips already. Okay, thank you, HHSU. Okay, not very realistic. Okay, so you say that maybe some of the suggestion that I gave is not very realistic. Maybe probably you can share with me more. What are the areas you think that I can improve on myself? Definitely, as I mentioned, this is a discussion. Why feng shui is not a why there's no organization that control feng shui? What do you all think? Why do you think that a lot of feng shui don't control feng shui? Yeah, because feng shui, as I mentioned, it really depends on individual thinking. For me, all right, feng shui to me is, I would say, just now as I mentioned, it's about environmental science and psychological effect. And my way of curing all this is most important. First of all, people must be very important. 住在里面的人很重要。第一 must feel comfortable first. Then after that, how can we cure the things? Yeah, so it really depends on individual lah, huh? So HSU also hopefully, and thank you for participating. So I just share what I think about what is feng shui. So, but if not, then maybe we can have a good discussion together. Okay, all right. I think that's all for today, and thank you for your participation. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Shu Chen. Okay. Thank you for your thinking. Oh, sorry. Sorry, HSO, sorry. I misunderstanding your question. So sorry. Okay, so you're asking, staying at high floor, one thinking tend to be not realistic, huh? Oh, okay. So sorry if I misunderstand your question. Okay. To fantasize, okay, probably your question is maybe if I stay at a high floor when I look up, all right, then tend to fantasize meaning 就是在家 okay, I think I get your question. That means is when I stay at a very high floor, so when I look out from my window is unblocked view. Does the people stay in that house, right, tend not to have a lot of goals in the life? 就是没有目标，不会打拼 probably, why is it so? Because when you stay at high floor and you have an unblocked view, wow, the view is so nice, and you will tend not to wanted to go out of your house really because it's too comfortable. Yeah, so I think this is what you mean by not realistic. Try to that means have a lot of thinking but no action at all. Probably this is what you mean lah, huh? So sorry if I misunderstand your question earlier, but answer your question. I say it's a yes. Yeah, probably. 为什么呢? Because of the unblocked view. Too comfortable. Worse is what? When if it's the people which is in their 30, 40, where they are meant to 打拼, to be in your career. But when they stay in such a house, right, they may not want to get out of their house. They want to stay at home. Then they'll be not realistic, try to fantasize lah. So this is probably one of the reason also. So that's why when you want to get a house, right, so sometimes when you get a house, it really depends on who is the owner. Say for example, if it's a retired couple, okay, I think they are good to stay at the high floor, with the unblocked view, with the comfortable view, because what? Because it's 让他们养老 in the sense that they feel good when staying inside. So if it's a young couple, they want to ping for the career already, but they stay in a high floor, unblocked view, the view very good, and they want to go out of the house to work, right? Probably this is the reason also. What you mean by fantasize is not realistic lah, huh? So HSU, thank you. I hope I answer your question. So thank you once again. I think that's all for today. I have enjoyed myself really. This is my first Facebook Live. And thank you for so much for all your participation. And when I see a familiar name, faces, and the feedback, actually it's really an encouragement. So as I mentioned, it's a discussion. So I also want to improve myself. So feel free to share with me how I can improve myself. And also, uh, thank you for your time to stay with me to ask questions, etc. So if you all would like to have such a more session in the future, please do let me know what kind of topic that you all think you would like to have. So I start off with a work from home feng shui, so I hope this is something new, something fun for to start with for y'all. So if you all want to know more about something else, okay, please do let me know. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Irene. Oh, thank you, Irene. Thank you for joining me also today. Cynthia as well. Thank you so much for your sharing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. So do let me know. So I think that's all for today's session. 谢谢你们，真的感恩感谢你们. So I hope to have more session in the future. Do let me know what kind of a topic that you all like to know lah, so that I can share with you all more again. Okay, 谢谢你们. Then I'll end today's session already. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 谢谢. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. I'll end my session today. 谢谢.